Hey, what's up? It's iCkEdMeL. How you guys doing? Just trying to see if I got this going all right here. I'm on Streamlabs, and I kind of wanted to do somewhat of an informal live stream where we can maybe watch some of what's going on in Colorado. I have some news clips, some video clips. Um, they just did a press conference too recently, and so let me see. Let me just make sure we're up here on YouTube and everything else. I've been messing around with the stream labs format. Hey Lily, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Let me make sure we're live here on. Okay, I didn't go live on Facebook. Okay, we're live too. All right. I think we're good. And just give it a second. Sierra, what's up? Lorraine. I wanted to see too if the Facebook chat pops up. Oh wait, the chat's not showing up in here. Oh, that's interesting. See, the chat's not where. There we go. When I switch the screen, it shows up. That's weird. Show up here. Not the best time to mess around, right? Yeah, that's weird. And it resets every time. Gotta figure something out. All right. So I'll stay in this screen. Oh boy. This. Messed that up. I already screwed up. What's up, Rob? How you doing? Welcome. Somehow I screwed up the screens here. All right. Yo. Okay. So yeah, I screwed up something with the chat box. I'll have to fix that later. So as long as I stay in these three screens. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so welcome. We're going to be talking about this Boulder, Colorado shooting thing. We're going to show some clips. The suspect is some 21-year-old. I don't know his name. If anybody knows, I guess it hasn't been released to the public yet. I want to try to, as we watch some of these video clips, this is kind of like a little lunchtime research show, and I'm also testing out Streamlabs. I mean, so if you guys have any issues too, just let me know in the chat. I really would like to know more about this guy and who he is. The chat's working there good. At least I know that. Yeah, what's up? Welcome, Sarah, Veronica, Joe. Hey, okay, Facebook's showing up too. Awesome. Yeah, appreciate you guys coming to test it out. I want to get this stuff figured out so I don't have to spend $50 a month using StreamYard. And this is a little bit more technical and it takes a little bit more work. Thank you for liking the stream. It takes a little bit more work. So I'm just working out the kinks. Oh, Lelia says she thinks it's a hoax. Oh man, careful, get me canceled. Sarah's on vacation. So let me see what I got here. This screen is jacked up. I don't know what that's jacked up. I have to fix that later. Chat bot. We can work with this. For this stream, we'll work in this screen, and I'll figure out this stuff later on. So I have a couple of clips. This is the recent press conference. It's Colorado shooting. What I thought was interesting before we get started. So there was this guy that was live streaming the event. Like he was there. I guess they go by the name ZFG videography. He literally he literally live streamed the event. Okay. It has almost 500,000 views. A lot of dislikes. And the chat looks bad too. Screen. I got a lot to work on. I'm sorry, guys. And so here's the thing that I thought was interesting. When I clicked on this video, it talked about licensing. And there's a website. It takes you to this website. You got to sign in. I think I might as well hide the chat box for now until I figure that out. There's a website where it's like a licensing website, and you have to purchase the videos for licensing. So he was telling people, don't use my video. you have to go get the licensing. So he's charging $157 for the licensing. And I guess this is a thing. I didn't know this was a thing. I guess this is a thing where people upload their footage and they charge. Maybe they're charging the media to use the video. I don't know. And literally in that video, there's dead people. Like there's literally, he walked up to the front of the store. I'm going to show you a small clip where it's censored. We're not going to see the bodies, but it's censored from the news media. He literally walks up to the store. You hear a shot. There's dead bodies on the ground and stuff. If you want to go see his video, I can put it in the chat later. You can just look him up on YouTube. It's ZFG Videography. Videos there. But to use it, he's charging license. So I thought that was kind of interesting. There was another clip too. Let me see if I can play this for you guys. About an hour and 47 minutes into his live stream, you can see somebody, well, you don't see the person, but somebody, I believe from the media, walks up to him and they're like, hey, you know, can I give you my card? And we're going to interview you, which I think he was in one of the interviews. And, you know, talking about buying this and buying that. I'm going to play just a couple of seconds before we get started. I don't want to show it on the screen because, you know.
Parked right around the corner when it started.
Can I give you my card?
Absolutely, yeah.
As soon as you get a second, just feel free to give me a call.
Sure. Okay. Yep.
When you're done, we'd love to get some of your video.
Absolutely, yeah.
We'd love to interview you too, if you could.
Sure.
So I'm gonna give you my card and interview the right stuff. You're still going on?
Yep, but I'll give it to you if you want.
So he was talking about the riots and getting all the stuff and that they were going to interview him. So I just thought it was kind of interesting to hear some of what's going on behind the scenes, you know?
That's the better stuff. 4-4.
I don't know. Interesting tidbit. I guess you can make money and make a living off of you know, selling these videos and stuff. So let me play this one. It's 3 minutes. So there's 10 people that are deceased that passed away. Your feed keeps freezing. Is it? You guys let me know in the chat. Is it freezing? This is the first time I'm kind of fully pushing out and doing a regular video. Facebook is saying it's freezing. Let me play this clip for you guys. You let me know.
The shooter,
sure.
Active shooter, get away!
This morning, witnesses are describing the moments the shooting rampage began at the King Soopers supermarket.
I probably heard 30 shots. It was just pop, 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 pop.
We just kept running and there was a guy laying out in the street.
Police confirming late last night that 10 people are dead, including Boulder police officer Eric Talley. Police vehicles holding a procession overnight, escorting Officer Talley's body from the scene. The 51-year-old had been an officer with the department since 2010.
Officer Talley responded to the scene, was the first on the scene, and he was fatally shot.
It's good? Okay, thanks.
The chaos began around 2:30 p.m. when a gunman armed with a rifle started shooting in the parking lot. Police and SWAT teams rushed to the scene.
Shooter is inside. He just shot at us twice.
The shooter opening fire on the officers, making his way into the store where shoppers and employees huddled inside a storage room.
I was just checking out at the self-checkout on I think the south side of the store, and all of a sudden I started hearing shots, and glass broke above my head. So I turned to run, and there was a lady laying down next to me.
Witnesses say the grocery store was more crowded than a typical Monday because of looming bad weather, and the pharmacy was filled with people waiting for COVID vaccines.
My grandchildren and my son-in-law walked into the pharmacy for him to get a COVID-19 shot, and the shooter came in, shot the woman in front of them.
Okay.
As shots rang out, store employees directed customers to the back where they could safely exit.
We were like sitting ducks, you know, and that's one thing that I'm reliving it. I'm looking at it in my head.
Officers tried to communicate with the shooter barricaded inside and used a bucket truck to get a better view as thousands of people watched this live stream posted by ZFG Video as it all unfolded.
The entire building is surrounded. You need to surrender.
About 1 hour later, police escorted this man from the store, shirtless and bleeding down his leg, apparently in handcuffs, being led to a stretcher. Authorities have not called him the suspect or released a possible motive in the shooting.
One is that it has some sort of philosophical.
We're gonna listen in the background, but I'm gonna fix this screen right here. If you guys give me a second, I'm gonna keep playing it. We can listen to it, but I just want to work on this. I'm also kind of testing this out so we can do regular streams without me having to pay all that other extra stuff. So I'm gonna keep playing it. People on Facebook are having problems. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with Facebook after. YouTube is fine. Facebook, people are lagging for some reason with the stream. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. You might have to come over to YouTube in the meantime then, because I won't be able to deal with Facebook right now. There's something going on with Facebook. I'm gonna have to figure out. They might have they're for some reason they're capping me at 720 resolution. I'm streaming at 1080, so
Ethnic,
I'll figure it out.
white supremacy, Islamic extremist overlay to it. So if you eliminate that for a second and think about what are the other possibilities, is that it's workplace violence, that he used to work there and he's mad, or it's personal. He went in there, an estranged girlfriend, a domestic dispute hours before.
Store customers who escaped the rampage say they never imagined it could happen in Boulder.
Boulder feels like a bubble, and the bubble bursts. It doesn't feel like there's anywhere safe anymore sometimes. So, and this feels like the safest spot in America. And I just nearly got killed for getting a soda, you know, and a bag of chips.
As we mentioned, the officer killed in the shooting was a father of 7. His sister tweeted this overnight, saying, quote, "Officer Eric Talley is my big brother. He died today in the Boulder shooting. My heart is broken. I cannot explain how beautiful he was and what a devastating loss this is to so many. Fly high, my sweet brother. You always wanted to be a pilot. Soar."
Okay, I'm getting it worked out. You guys on Facebook, if you're having issues, come over to YouTube. Sorry about that again. So I got one of my screens here. The people that are gonna rewatch this are gonna be so annoyed. What the hell is this guy doing? I think we're gonna watch the press thing here soon. Let me play some more of some of the witness testimony from the different people that were there. This is the guy. Let me play this again. Let me do this on the full screen if I can for you guys. This is the guy. What's kind of fascinating to me about this, I don't know if it's fascinating, but I don't know how this guy, how do people go on a killing spree and they're not killed, like they survive, you know, like, I mean, I guess he surrendered. Maybe is that what it is? The better. That's a really interesting point that Jakku said. Jakku said it seems like he targeted the pharmacy. There was a witness that was talking and saying that like they were getting their COVID vaccine and they got shot while waiting in line to get the vaccine. Shit. We don't know, George. Yo, if you guys in the chat know this guy's name, I don't think it's been released. If you know the name, type in the name. We can look him up. Check him out. I want to know his background, his history. Guy killed 10 people and an officer. All right, surrender. Just walks out. That's incredible, man. That's some crazy shit. You can do all that. Thank you, sir, for surrendering. Dream health. Okay. Okay, for the people on Facebook, what I will do is I'm gonna link you the stream. You guys will have to come over. Facebook is having some. Yeah, I'm putting it for you guys right now. 1 second. Sorry for the people in the. Like you guys are my test subject. Sorry about that, Facebook people. So I'm putting the link right now in the chat for you guys so you can come over. And funny. Apparently, YouTube doesn't want me streaming in 1080. They only allow 720 for some reason. I don't know why. That doesn't make sense to me. So I'll have to figure that out after. Maybe this is why some of these people that YouTubers don't bother with Facebook. Thank you guys. I appreciate it, man. Come over. So let's take a look at this other one. So who's the pharmacy person? I think it was the guy. I think he said, man's daughter says gunman walked up to a woman in line for the COVID-19 vaccine. Guys. Okay, yeah, I could work with this window. Let me play this for you.
My daughter, my grandchildren, and my son-in-law walked into the pharmacy for him to get a COVID-19 shot, and the shooter came in, shot the woman in front of them. They hid, ran upstairs, or hiding in a coat closet for the last hour.
Damn.
And trying to stay in contact with my daughter. They're okay. They just are now out the back. They had, a half a dozen stormtroopers.
No way. Is that the name? Ahmed Alyssa? Let me look it up. Hold on. I don't know. Let me look it up.
Them, stay quiet, and
Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
Okay. This is not okay with me. And this is put in a.
You guys are right. I think you're right. Yeah. Okay.
This is, when it's your family, you feel it.
Okay. So salute to the chat. Okay. And we're gonna check out a little bit about this guy, Ahmed Alyssa. The interesting thing too is there. Okay, so before I started the stream, right, there was a post on Facebook from this guy's live stream where there was dead bodies, and under that post, I mean, it could be nothing, but he said, "Oh, praise Allah, thank Allah, Allah, whatever." And so I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Let's see what it says about this guy. Let's see. Give you guys a full screen. All right. Okay, so they released the identity of the alleged Boulder supermarket shooter on Tuesday morning. Ahmed Alyssa, a weird name, 21, is accused of opening fire and killing 10 people during the Monday massacre. He is a Arvada, Colorado resident, as the injured suspect is seen in the video following the deadly mass shooting Monday at the King Soopers supermarket. The man allegedly opened fire on customers, killing a Boulder police officer. The officer was 51 years old, Eric Talley. The deceased victims range from ages 20 to 65. Law enforcement press release identified the full name, Ahmed Alawi Alyssa. A Facebook page appearing to be that of the suspect features posts and quotes from the Islamic prophet Muhammad. Can we look at his Facebook? Is that a link to this? Let me see if I can find him on Facebook. Facebook. See what Alyssa's into, what Alyssa's like. Allah! Oh, okay, we're gonna have to look at some of this stuff. I don't see, let me see. I don't know which one is it. Like, I don't know what his profile is. If somebody knows the exact link to his profile, either email me or Discord me or something. Let me show this. So Alyssa was shot during the exchange of gunfire with responding officers and transported to a local hospital. He was put in stable condition. When asked if the shooter had expressed a motive to police, we don't have the answer for that yet. The attack lasted around 20 minutes Monday, around 3 p.m. local time. Video and photographs were taken from the scene, showed several bodies laying across the grocery store floor. Oh, he has a brother. In a report published to the Daily Beast, Alyssa's 34-year-old brother said authorities searched his home for hours Monday night following the shooting. His brother described the alleged shooter as very antisocial and exhibiting behaviors of consistent with mental illness. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Mental illness. I'm curious about this guy. Ahmed. So what I want to do is, I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm going to check it out right now. Ooh, we got some videos here online too. Okay, all right. Man, let's do this. Let's check this out for now.
And we do a thorough.
We're not going to listen to this whole thing because it's like 40 minutes long, but I'm going to play some of it. Ahmed Al-Alawi Alyssa. He started shooting in the parking lot before going in. BL said. Okay. Yeah, King Soopers is a grocery store. Hey, everybody on Facebook. Apparently, I'm having some issues with connection, so you might have to come over here.
Investigation. And with this, I'm going to turn this over to Governor Polis. Sir?
Thank you, Chief, for your extraordinary work the last day and a half, and there's going to be a lot more ahead. And of course, I'm standing here not just as governor,
Paranoid
but someone
schizophrenia.
who's called this community my home for most of my life, and who's shopped at that King Soopers in Table Mesa many times across my life. And you know, my heart aches today, and I think all of ours does, as Coloradans, as Americans, for this senseless tragedy, the loss of life, as we hear those names. Everybody, and Boulder County is a small community. We're all looking over the list. Do we know anybody? I'm sure that we know people that know people, people of all ages, and people who started their day with a cup of coffee and reading the morning paper, or perhaps getting their kids ready and putting on a winter coat to go out. Maybe they were making last-minute spring break plans, but none of them expected that this would be their last day here.
In this article that I'm reading now, see what we have going on. In this article that I'm reading, it talks a little bit about Ahmed. Very little details. There's not much. And I'm going to look up some YouTube videos because it looks like people are already talking about him. But it says here, maybe you guys in the chat can tell me. Big enough for you? Oh. Hold on. There we go. Got it right. So it says officers entered the store within minutes and made contact with Alyssa. Gunfire exchanged, and the suspect was shot. He was taken into custody around 3:28 p.m., taken to the hospital. A court document obtained by Fox 31 Problem Solver shows Alyssa had a run-in with the law in 2017 when he was accused of cold cocking a classmate. I have no idea. What is cold cocking? Mel, read the heavy article about him. Okay, Butterfly said. I'll check it out. The victim, according to the records, fell to the floor after the suspect was accused of punching him in the head. The victim suffered bruising, swelling, and cuts to the head, as well as pain, according to the records. The court record suggests that Alyssa was concerned because he said the victim had made fun of him and called him racial names weeks earlier. Court records showed Alyssa pleaded guilty to an assault charge in 2018. Okay. I'm going to keep playing this, and I'm going to look up the article. Knocking out. Okay. Just walking up and knocking out the dude. Damn. Okay. I guess I'm old. We're out of touch.
On the planet. It's a simple run for milk and eggs, you know, getting ready to shop, going in a regular way we all live our lives, something that we can all identify with.
See the article.
led to a complete tragedy here today. And our hearts ache for those who lost their lives, for their families, for the survivors left behind, for the survivors who were able to get out, who have scars that can't be seen but are every bit as painful. And I want to thank the Boulder Police Department, the first responders, so many police from agencies across the state came to the call in the time of need. Not only did we lose 10 lives, but this is real horror and terror for all of us. The simple act of shopping at a grocery store. And in the last day and a half, the last 12 hours, the families of our victims, our friends, they've been notified of their loss. That's why these names weren't released yesterday. The families have been notified. Everybody quietly hoping that it wasn't your friend or your coworker or your family member. Many residents of South Boulder had people checking in with them. Are you okay? Are you okay? Posting on social media. Are you okay?
Hey, Toxic.
And look, this loss is especially painful for the friends and the family members of
Biden.
those left behind. And as governor, I offer my condolences to all those who suffer loss. But this is a loss for all of us, and we mourn because we simply has the full support. I hope that the victims today got with lifelong scars that we
saved lives, to the federal partners, Interim U.S. Attorney Kirsch and FBI Special 10 of loss and of loneliness, feel safe in our
that will no longer come for them.
And it turned out that we are in the very early stage.
It's a pretty long press conference, and we're not going to listen to all of it. There was one woman, I'm not even sure what's on here, but there was one woman that spoke. Okay, here, let's listen to her a little bit.
5 to 8. No, it's hard. It's challenging. I live 3 blocks up the street from that store. You're worried about your neighbors. You're worried about your partner. You're worried about everything when you get that call. And so, yeah, I feel numb. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to talk to victims, their families. You know, it's tragic. This officer had 7 children, ages 5 to 18. I just had that officer's whole family in my office 2 weeks ago to give him an award. And so it is personal. This is my community. I live here. And to have something like this happen so close to where you live, and to know the fear in the community, and to know that the officers.
We're gonna take a look at the heavy article about Ahmed Alyssa. He's been identified now. I'm gonna play this for a little bit more, and then we'll talk about this guy.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah, I can tell you that he's a very kind man, and he didn't have to go into policing. He had a profession before this, but he felt a higher calling, and he loved this community, and he's everything that policing deserves and needs. He cared about this community. He cared about Boulder Police Department. He cared about his family. And he was willing to die to protect others. And that gets lost in translation. I don't know all the details at this time. All I can tell you is I've spoken to some of their families, and I can just tell you that they're heartbroken. And this is
Okay, Lori, thanks for coming.
Received as a family member. Not that we know of. We have checked with CU, and at this time we do not believe, obviously preliminary information, but at this time we do not believe any are CU students. I am not. I just know we started receiving calls for service at 2:30 p.m. And obviously we received a barrage of calls for service for shots fired. And I believe we received one call with a man with some type of patrol rifle. And they came in back to back to back.
Oh, it's probably very low. Let me turn it up for you guys a little
Actually,
bit.
the award was for Officer Talley's son. Officer Talley taught CPR. He taught his family CPR. And Officer Talley, one of his sons, swallowed a quarter. And because Officer Talley taught his children CPR, one of his sons was able to save the little boy's life. And so the Boulder Police Department just gave his son an award for life saving.
There's a lot of gun control talk going on too now on Twitter and everywhere else. This guy could not have had a license to carry. The Democrats are quick to jump on. Doesn't make an excuse. I think, can't you like go to like one of these just guns? Was it at the not an auction? I think they have like these gun events. I can't remember the word. Where you just go and you just buy a gun. I don't think there's any requirements. I heard supposedly, I don't know what kind of gun. I read in one article, CNN, that alleged he had an AR, an assault rifle, but I don't know how true that is.
All my officers are doubled up. And thanks to the state and all of the local authorities that are here have offered to run calls of service for us. And none of my
AR-15
officers wanted to do that. So we partnered them up, and they want to be out with the community. I tell them that I'm sorry, we're going to get through this. Don't lose your compassion, and we'll get through this, and we'll come out of it stronger.
The audio on the video is very, very low. I turn up the audio on my end, but like the reporters asking questions, I can't even hear it myself, and I have headphones on. A lot of times, I don't know why. Maybe there's different audio sources when they're doing this stuff. I can only hear the officer talking, so I can't hear their questions.
I think we're almost we're about to wrap up questions, and just to fill in for one of the questions.
I think that's it with this. It's a pretty long video, but just to give the gist, it's a really crazy, unfortunate situation. I have some more testimonies and stuff that we can look at, but let's look into this guy, Ahmed. Oh Lord, check this shit out when you see this. We might need a full screen on this one. Heavy.com. Let me get you the go on a full screen here, right? So this is the guy, Ahmed Alyssa. Looks like he's taking a selfie over here or something. Got a little balding going on, taking a selfie. Not sure what that is. Damn, 21 years old, and well, I don't know if he's balding. I don't know what's up with his hair, but so this is the guy that was identified. Ahmed Alwi Alyssa, 21 years old. This shooting took place at the King Soopers in Boulder, which well, they said Scoopers. Wait, this is I read that wrong. Soopers. What the hell am I reading? But it's located at the 3600 Table Mesa Drive. The store anchors a large shopping center in the southern part of Boulder, a few blocks from Fairview High School. And I don't know what notification that was. I'm missing them. Not on my screen. I'll have to set that up in a second. So, thank you for the likes and shares. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys. So the victims are Denny Stong, 20 years old, Nevin Stanisic, I'm saying that, sorry, 23, Ricky Olds, 25, Ilona Bar, I'm not gonna try, 49, Suzanne Fountain, 59, Terry Leaker, 51, Officer Talley, 51, Kevin Mahoney, 61, Lynn Murray, 62, and Jody Waters, 65. So for the most part, kind of some older people and then some really young people too. I saw the name Ricky. Oh wow. Okay. We'll look at this after this article. So live videos emerge from the scene, which you can tell or which you can watch later in this post. Be warned, the footage is extremely graphic and unironically up on Facebook. Not Facebook, YouTube, sorry. YouTube. I was wondering about that too. Like they canceled Logan Paul or whatever, or Paul, whatever, one of the Paul brothers, because he went to that suicide forest and he videoed a dead body. And I guess I get it because they were being comedic and all that stuff. But you see these videos of dead people and people uploading it and live streamings, and not only that, like he's selling the video. It's licensed online. He's literally monetizing. Like there's literally dead bodies on it, and that's okay. But with the Logan Paul thing, it's like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Which it was a shitty act, but like in these other cases, it's acceptable. Why is that? So Alyssa's brother said he was mentally disturbed and paranoid. His motive remains under investigation. Alyssa's brother, Ali Alyssa, told Daily Beast that his brother is deeply disturbed, very antisocial, paranoid. In high school, he would say he was being chased. Someone is behind him. Someone is looking for him. When he was having lunch with my sister in a restaurant, he said, people in the parking lot, they're looking for me. She went out and there was no one. We didn't know what was going on. So it might be like somebody in the chat said, I forgot who it was. They mentioned paranoid schizophrenia. Some of Alyssa's Facebook posts reflect the paranoia and mental health issues his family has mentioned to the reporters. Alyssa wrote in July 2019 that, yeah, if these racist, Islamophobic people would stop hacking my phone and let me have a normal life, I probably could. This is him right here, Ahmed Al-Issa. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Ahmed Al-Issa. Not the Alyssa. If they haven't shut his Facebook down. I don't see it. It's either hidden somewhere under a bunch of other people, or they moved his account or hid it from the public, whatever. There's a bunch of names like that online. Well, so this is the post about him being hacked and his privacy. He wrote in March 2019, just curious what are the laws about phone privacy, because I believe my old school West was hacking my phone. Anyone know if I can do anything through the law? He added in a comment about his belief that he was being stalked by his high school. I believe part racism for sure, but I also believe someone spread rumors about me which are false that maybe set that off. According to the Daily Beast, his brother once said that he used to be outgoing and then he turned into antisocial after he was bullied in high school. Oh. It was not at all a political statement. It's mental illness, he said. The guy used to get bullied a lot in high school. He was like an outgoing kid, but after he went to high school, he got bullied a lot and he started becoming antisocial. There's 10 victims. I, Ali Alyssa told the Daily Beast he and his family have lived in Colorado for 20 years, and they said they're so sorry for the victims. He went to King Soopers shortly after the shooting looking for another relative, and he found his brother in a police cruiser. He was looking for the third brother who left to run errands. They could not get in touch with the third brother. That's when he learned Ahmed Alyssa was the suspect. I went to King Super, that is close to our house, to see if they are there, and then I saw a police car, and then I got closer to the police car and I saw my other brother was detained in the police car. That was at 9:30 at night.
Just terrified, honestly. I was in shock initially when we realized what was happening, and once I called my mom and said I was okay and let her know what was happening, and it all kind of sunk in, and I started panicking and realizing that, like, this is, I don't even know, like, the fact that it's happening all over America, seeing it on the news,
Megan.
like, something I've grown up with. Like, people my age and my generation were used to this, and it's just never something that I think would ever happen in my town.
Oh, Megan says supposedly this guy purchased the weapon the same day, allegedly, or we're not sure, but damn, same day purchase, huh? I'm right here. Most of his life in the United States. Let me get you. Like, I'll have to fix this after. You know what? Hold on. He was born in Syria. A witness said he didn't hit shit, said one witness. He came in and just started shooting. He lived most of his life in the United States. They're looking into his background, but that did not release additional information of his past. His Facebook page, which has now been deleted. There you go. That's why we can't find it. Now been deleted. Said he lived in Syria until moving into the United States when he was about 3 years old. 2002 he came. According to his older brother's Facebook page, which has now been deleted, his family was originally from Syria. Alyssa's most recent post on his own Facebook page, which has now been taken down, was on September 18, 2020. He shared a post from Muslim Hub reading, "The Prophet said, if a Muslim plants a tree or sows a seeds, and then a bird or a person or an animal eats from it, it's regarded as a charitable gift." Pete Williams said on MSNBC, his federal sources have said there is no indication the shooting was an act of terror or a hate crime. It's interesting. It makes you think a little bit about the Atlanta guy, right? Like the guy that went to the massage parlors and started shooting places up. You know, initially, you know, it's a hate crime. It's a hate crime, white supremacy. But it seems like, and maybe we can do a video on that separately, he had some sort of sexual issues, some sort of sexual deviancies, and supposedly really into religion too, and supposedly he had visited those places himself. He visited those places himself, and so and he was like supposedly struggling with some inner turmoil. I don't know what's up with the guy, but supposedly, and what he's claiming is that it's not wasn't targeting Asians. Thanks, Stephanie, for becoming a member. I need to make a members video. Do need to do that. I got some. I was walling out last night. I made some video on that. Williams said the suspect's family members revealed he suffered from fairly severe mental problems, paranoia, thought people were chasing him, always chasing him, and said, "Thank you for liking the stream." And said there were no known records of encounters between him and law enforcement, which contradicts the last article that we read. Well, I guess it wasn't an incident with law enforcement. It was an incident with somebody in school. A witness told Denver Post the gunman entered the grocery store and wordless and opened fire. He didn't say shit. He just came in and started shooting. Current scene at Boulder. So Alyssa was studying computer engineering at Metropolitan State University of Denver and graduated from Arvada West High School, where he was on a wrestling team. This one we saw already. Alyssa went to Arvada West High School and graduated in 2018, where he was a member of the wrestling team. He also studied Metropolitan State University in Denver. He began attending the college for computer engineering. He had a prospective graduation date of 2022. He wrote on his Facebook page. Alyssa often posted about his wrestling career and being a fan of the collegiate and Olympic wrestling. He also was a fan of mixed martial arts and would post often about professional MMA. 2016, August 2016, half of me wants to study hard and get a good career, and half of me just wants to party and not care, LOL. A few months later, he wrote, "Summertime gonna bust my behind off so I can save and buy a car. Don't care if it's the ugliest car in the lot, at least I earned it with hard work. Unlike you spoiled little rich kids at West." They didn't like that school. "I earned it with hard work, unlike you spoiled little rich kids." In March 2019, he posted a photo with 2 medals around his neck and wrote, "Alhamdulillah, I got 2 gold medals today and 1 in both divisions in the something jiu-jitsu tournament." Alhamdulillah means praise God in Arabic. Him right there. Sorry, it's not centered. Let me skip past some of this. Alyssa wrote on Facebook in 2017, when we're emotional or angry, we tend to say things we don't mean. It's best not to talk when you're emotional. That's true. So Alyssa got a gunshot wound to the leg, and I think they took him to the hospital, and he was fine. He was armed with a patrol rifle. This is another picture of him. Oh, kind of different in this picture. Right there. We know about all this stuff, the video emerging. This is not censored, I don't think, so I'm not going to play this. This is that live streamer making probably thousands of dollars right now. Age restriction. Okay. Alyssa's Facebook posts include included Muslim and anti-Trump references along with homophobic slurs. Isn't that interesting? It's kind of like he's anti-Trump, right? But then also he's, I guess, homophobic. Like he hates gay people. I don't know. But then talks about that whole school situation where he was possibly being made fun of and supposedly racial slurs were made at him. Lissa said he was not very political in a post in 2016 before the presidential election, but at times he shared anti-Trump posts. In June 2019, he shared posts from PBS NewsHour about myths about immigration in the U.S. economy and added, "Why refugees and immigrants are good for America." On May 1st, 2019, he shared a YouTube video from an anti-abortion group and wrote, "Abortion is disgusting." Look what's going on right now at the border with all these kids. In 2018, September, he shared a story about Trump and there possibly being tapes of him saying racial slurs and wrote, "Even if they released the tapes, his base would probably throw a party for him. He could do whatever he wants, I guess, and his base would support him regardless of what he says or does." That same day, he shared a story about Trump's approach to refugees and wrote, "Trump's such a dick." Well, I mean, he's not really saying anything crazy. As far as that, I want to know what they meant with the whole homophobic stuff. He wrote after Election Day in November 2016, "Regardless of political affiliation, I think it says a lot that one party has had the first minority president and the first woman who might be our next president. Trump won. Only time can tell what will happen. Other than that, I will remain optimistic." He posted on Facebook often about his Muslim faith in May 27, 2019. "It's about to come up. Hope all us Muslims have a good Eid." I'm not sure what Eid is. Eid. "And finish Ramadan strong." He wrote in May 7, 2019, "So Mary wears a hijab and Jesus doesn't eat pork and prays on his knees and hands. They're both Muslims. It's obvious." Oh. He shared a post in March 2019. "What Islam is really about," along with a list of Muslim hub that included, "Don't be rude in speech, restrain anger, be good to others, don't be arrogant, and forgive others for their mistakes." He goes and shoots up this place. In March 2019, Alyssa posted about the Christchurch, New Zealand mosque shooting, sharing a meme that said, "The Muslims at the Christchurch mosque were not victims of a single shooter. They were victims of the entire Islamophobia industry that vilified them." May 14, 2019, he posted, "Just saying the genocide of Syria, the Rwandan, somebody's going to get me after this, genocide, the Holocaust, and slavery are all terrible things that should have never happened. All have something in common: too much government control." December 4, 2018, he wrote, "Muslims might not be perfect, but Islam is." His post also included homophobia, and he often used homophobic slurs, or the FAG word, and the other one, the longer version of it. In 2019, he did a post where he mocked Microsoft Xbox's rainbow flag logo and used during a Pride Month, writing, "Okay, FAG box loses, PS4 wins," with 2 laughing crying emojis. This is like forever and ever and ever. Okay. April 14, 2019. "Isn't it weird people are always smiling and acting like they're having fun? Some of the most depressed people on earth. And then people like me who don't bullshit everything, as in don't fake smile or just act normal, are some of the happiest. Still happy. Stop acting like a FAG. Don't take anyone's shit." All right. In 2019 March, he wrote, God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Oh no. Oh, you homophobic. See what else is there here. These are some of the posts and comments. That's it for that article. Let me see. Okay, let's listen to how far. We're almost at an hour. This off, close this off. History. Okay. Yeah, let's check this out.
And the first, we were at the checkout, and shots started going off, and I heard the first one shocked me, and the second one I knew for sure it was a shot, and I said, Nicholas, get down. And,
Okay, Sarah.
Nicholas ducked, and we just started listening, and there was just repetitive shots, and then there was a brief pause, and I just said, Nicholas, run. And he said, no, don't move. I said, run right now. We have 3 seconds. And he started running, and then he shot towards us like we could feel it, and we just kept going. We just ran, and there was somebody laying in the road, and I tried to run towards him, and Nicholas pulled me away, and he said, we have to go. And we just ran and hid behind the buildings on the end over here. And my dog is stuck right in front there. And I think they surrounded it. Like, I think somebody might have been hiding. I don't know. My dog's okay. He overshot us. He overshot us.
Oh, there is BL. Okay. Maybe I can find it online. Play this, and I'll search that up in the meantime.
Ryan, thank you so much. Listen, I know this is a stressful time for you. I mean, it's just unbelievable what you experienced and what you went through. How are you doing?
I keep telling people I've had better days, but I feel just a profound sense of luckiness.
Yeah.
Sad that this happened. And
Angela, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And the Cash App and Jason and all you guys. Lisa, Angela said thank you for your time and research. Appreciate you guys in this.
Boulder, and sad that people died, and just watching that report of the police officer who died. It's just heartbreaking, and I'm still processing.
Listen, everyone can relate to what you were doing. I mean, listen, my thing is soda, chips, and a candy bar. That's my comfort food, right? When I don't, and my trainer and my nutritionist would say I shouldn't eat it, but I love to eat it, and I'm going to do it, and I go to the store, and I buy it because I want it. But we're relieved that you're safe. But you went to the store, and the reason I said it's relatable, because you wanted to get some soda and chips, right? And then you witness a shooting. That shouldn't happen to anyone. Tell me when you first realized what was happening.
You said candy bar. Well, my addiction would be ice cream, so I was going to get a Ben & Jerry's, and that was on the east side of the store, and I walked in on the west side, and I changed my mind, decided not to, went down a different aisle, and pretty much a moment after I made that decision, I heard the first 2 shots. And by the 3rd shot, I was running with everybody else towards the back.
Did you know where you were running, or you were just trying to get out of the way?
I worked at a grocery store for many years, so it must have been a little bit of instinct. But after the first 2 shots, I saw somebody running towards me with a terrified look on their face. I turned and ran and made sure everybody else was running in the same direction with me. Went through the back doors. the employees who were working there didn't know what was going on yet, so we had to tell them, gun, 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 run, run, run. And they made sure that we didn't go down any dead ends, and we all got out the back exit together, and yeah, it's absolutely insane.
How many people?
With me, I think there was maybe a dozen people. You know, we were all running single file, finding our way through the maze of the back of the house there. And I had, you know, my hand on somebody else's back, and somebody had their hand on my back. So nobody was tripping or falling, but everybody was moving as fast as we could. It was the fastest fire drill I've ever been in. And yeah, it was all a blur. I hit the emergency button on my iPhone 3 times as soon as I got out into the parking lot and looked around. And like I said, it might have been a dozen people, it might have been 2 dozen people who escaped with me.
So you just ran out of the back door, out of the supermarket, right?
Yeah, it was surreal in the fact that it was a bit of an obstacle course. Literally, people were starting to go into, you know, a storage room, and employees who we just told to run for their lives were, you know, cognizant enough to tell us which way to run.
So as you were running out, hang on, stand by. So as you're running out, you're encountering store workers and other shoppers as you're running?
Yeah. You know, I had other customer behind me, and we busted through the back doors to the employee area. The employees looked at us with shock, and we just told them to run. A couple customers ran into what was probably, you know, dry storage.
Now,
and the employees were like, no, this way's the exit. And we dove out the receiving door in the back and ducked underneath the truck trailer and up a little hill just to get as far away as we could.
So in the area that looks like a loading dock, that's where you were running towards, right?
Exactly, yeah. We got out the loading dock. We had to go underneath a truck and then up a little hill.
Yeah.
So,
indeed, an obstacle course for you. So, listen, did you ever encounter? Did you see the shooter?
No. I was maybe 5-10 feet up an aisle, but I was, you know, as close to the registers, you know, as I could, but the only thing I saw was the look of a terrified woman running towards me, and that's when I turned and ran. I knew I wasn't close enough to think about being a hero. I told my wife that later, and I only had the choice of running, and luckily I knew I wasn't running into a corner.
And you knew from the look on her face that you needed to get out of there.
Yeah. Excuse me. The first shot was confusing. Maybe it was somebody dropped something. Second shot came, and then after that it was bam, 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 and I was running, and I heard maybe 8 shots. Somebody else said 13, but who's really counting at that point?
Did you hear anything? Did you hear the gunman, or did you hear any? Well, I don't know if you would even know, but did you hear any raised voices or anything? An argument?
It seemed like there was some confusion, you know, between just that small, you know, between the first and second shot, there seemed some confusion. But when I heard you talking to your last guest about the fallibility of a person's memory, but I don't remember anybody screaming. I don't remember anybody hysterically yelling. It was just go, 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 get out of here. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what to do in a situation like this, because, you know, Colorado has had several mass shootings. Have you ever thought about what you would do?
Yeah, there's a little boy in me who wants to be a G.I. Joe and tackle a guy with a gun, but like I said, I wasn't anywhere near it. The other thing I am is a runner. So, you know, there's a lot of runners in Colorado, and just I knew I had to move. I knew there was no question of hiding. And, you know, I've heard, I was listening to a podcast with Sam Harris recently, and he was talking to some guy about just self-defense. And, you know, if you got somebody telling you to, you know, do what they say and otherwise they'll shoot you, the self-defense guy said something along the lines of, and I'm sorry if I get it wrong, but he said, don't run, you know, like they want you to comply. They want you to do what that they say, and they can, you know, but if you run, you have a chance. And I ran and I lived.
I know that you were on earlier with Aaron Burnett, and you know, this was right after. Okay. Is there anything that you remember or that you think you neglected to say between now and then? Because sometimes after you settle down, things start to trickle, things start to come back to you, or, you know, is there anything you want to say?
You know, I'm not going to be able to identify the shooter. I'm not going to be able to testify on, you know, in court against this guy. But I said it to somebody else who was talking to me about this, and I just think that we're so far from the government coming in and solving everything with a gun policy. But every single individual has a right to deal with and a responsibility to deal with their own mental state. I don't own a gun because sometimes I'm too depressed to think about what it would be like to own a gun and to be depressed. And I think that there needs to be just encouragement for people to self-reflect, to meditate, to do what it takes to deal with their demons. And, you know, I'm not religious. I don't believe in demons. I think that people need to deal with their real human problems in whatever human way they can. And, yeah, because if they don't, then it just ends up in some sort of terrible.
All right, so we're going to move on from that. There's this one too. Oh, this is the censored one that I wanted you guys to take a look at. That live streamer has it on his page. Hey Ranch, what's up? Welcome. By the way, guys, I was having trouble with Streamlabs. I canceled StreamYard, and so this was kind of a test stream too. And so I've ironed out most of the kinks. So I appreciate you guys joining. There's a couple of things I still have to fix. I'll do that afterwards. But thank you. I appreciate you hanging around and spending a little bit of time with me this afternoon. Bieber, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let me see what I can. Oh, a heart. Thank you. I have to get back to your messages too. I haven't read it yet or listened to it. But this was awesome. Works. This video here, there was this guy like literally live streaming the situation while it was happening, and the video's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It has 500,000 views. He put licensing on it, so like, and I guess a lot of people do that, I guess, with footage. So whatever media companies, whoever wants to like use the footage, I guess you have to get it licensed or whatever. Fresh it.
Store. Right down there. Oh my God. Guys, we got people down inside King Soopers. Look, there's... Holy shit.
A live stream of the shooting shows what appears to be victims both in and outside the building as witnesses.
There's literally shots going off. And he's like, I guess, recording the thing. Right before he walked in, they don't show it in this video. If you watch the raw video, there's literally bodies outside before he walks in here.
Right down there. Oh my God. Guys, we got people down inside King Soopers.
And I guess he's talking to his live stream audience while this shit's going on. It's pretty wild.
Look, there's... Holy shit.
A live stream of the shooting shows what appears to be victims both in and outside the building as witnesses scrambled.
There's a shooter, active shooter. Get away. Get back.
I didn't realize they were gunshots at first, and I looked outside to see what it was and witnessed the beginning of the shooting from my window.
Anna Hayes lives directly across from King Soopers.
He was on one of the handicap ramps going up to the entrance of the King Soopers, and he was shooting down at something, which I believe was another person. And after he was done shooting, he ran inside the building.
SWAT vehicles, hundreds of police officers, and at least 3 medical helicopters responded to the scene. But the first was Boulder police officer Eric Talley, one of the 10 killed in the attack. His sister saying in a tweet that her heart is broken and she cannot explain how beautiful he was.
The heroic action of this officer, Officer Talley responded to the scene, was the first on the scene, and he was fatally shot.
Inside the store, Ryan Borowski told our Denver station KCNC-TV no one knew what was going on.
Heard, one loud bang, thought somebody just dropped something, an employee or something, and then another. And then by the third one, everybody was running.
I'll put the link for you guys if you want to watch it after. I think it's literally like 3 hours long. They give you like 2 before you can even watch the video. You have to sign in, like an age restriction, and then they also have another discretion is advised. I've never seen that before, like where they have 2 things before you can actually watch the video. So I mean, if you're interested in that, I'll put the link chat. And thank you, Keish, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat too. Appreciate you guys.
And others escaped through the loading dock.
So just at that point, it was just run, get out of there, tell everybody to leave. And yeah, that's what we had to do.
Newlyweds Nevin and Quinlan Sloan were also inside when they heard the gunshots.
I pushed open the emergency door, and I think we were the first to be out.
He said he helped people exit from the back of the store.
I was like, dang, this guy could like come out and start shooting these guys. I want to make sure they're like as far away as they can be.
Stephen McHugh's son-in-law and grandchildren were at the store's pharmacy to get a COVID vaccine and hid for more than an hour.
The shooter came in, shot the woman in front of them. They hid, ran upstairs or hiding in a coat closet for the last hour.
Several people who had been sheltering inside the King Soopers were escorted out by officers.
Half a dozen cops came in through the roof.
Supposedly, this guy lived far away too. The killer, Ahmed Alyssa. I took a screenshot. I thought I did. Guess I lost it. I had an article somewhere where it spoke about he lived pretty far away. I wonder what was his reasoning. Why this supermarket? Was it just, did he just lose his mind at that moment in time? Like, he clearly had some issues. So this was that live streamer too. Here's another clip. I screened it real quick, so I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything inappropriate here, so we can watch this. This video almost has 600,000 views, and I just looked.
I'll be back over there in a minute. Those guys are all going to make entry here.
How far is that?
Boulder Police Department.
From King Soopers, the one he was at, 3600 Table Mesa Drive. He was a couple blocks from Fairview High School.
You're surrounded in your burgundy vehicle. I need you to sit up and surrender to the officers.
Oh.
Do it now.
So there's somebody in a vehicle at this point where they're trying to get out. I don't know what exactly. It's the caption is, so this is weird with the Boulder, Colorado King Soopers shooting. An hour and 20 minutes after police had the building surrounded, they apparently realized a suspect was hiding in a burgundy Suburban. Can't see what happens next as they forced the guy out of the area. I don't know if that person was the actual suspect. Some people in the comments saying they think it might have been a victim, a responsive who left the scene and maybe passed away in the car or something. Let's keep watching.
Oh, they're forcing that
This
vehicle
is the Boulder Police Department. We see the vehicle. I need you to exit the vehicle now.
Back up across the street, sir. Please.
Back up across the street.
I hear ya.
Please back up across the street. Please back up across the street.
I had better cover behind the tree. I'm a journalist. I'm not gonna leave the scene. Not going across the canal. I'm gonna film this. I'm a journalist. Stop telling me to leave. Final answer, not leaving.
Yeah.
Go across the street. I'll go down here. Cross the canal, please. Cross the canal. Thank you. For your safety, please.
Yeah, I'm not going to cross the canal.
Well, then you're going to have to go all the way down there, sir.
I understand.
Go that way.
Cheesecake commented in the live chat, this made me panic so much. I'm so close to where it was when it was happening. I could hear the gunshots and my brother's friend died. Oh, wow. Damn.
Hey, go back over there. Go across the street.
Stop barking orders at me, dude. I'm a journalist.
You need to back up.
I'm backing up. What am I doing? Backing up.
Back up for your safety.
Dude, what is your name? Name and badge number.
Back
What
up.
is your name and badge number?
Back up.
That's crazy. Giving the police a hard time. Like, there's literally, I guess, 10 people that died there, including a police officer. And you're giving these guys like a hard time.
You guys need to stop being fucking douchebags right now. I'm fucking journalist. I'm filming here.
And this is for your safety.
Yeah, this is for my safety. Look at your safety. Look at my safety.
Sir, please walk with me.
Fuck off. Dude.
Wow. That got crazy. You imagine, like, there's 10 people dead, one of your officers down, and you had to deal with this, like somebody. Oh, I have some more videos. I think we'll end it in about 10 minutes. There's a whole history too. I mean, I'm not gonna go into all of it. Colorado. These are all Colorado. 1999, the Columbine High School shooting. 2007. Well, that one, there's 12 people killed. 12 fellow students and 1 teacher were dying by suicide. 2007. YWAM and New Life shootings in Arvada and Colorado Springs. The gunman killed 2 people, 5 injured. 2012. Oh yeah, I forgot about that crazy guy. The 12 people were killed and 58 wounded. That's the guy that walked into the theater and he looks crazy as hell too. Started shooting people. In 2015, there was the Planned Parenthood shooting in Colorado Springs. 3 people were killed, 9 more were wounded in the shooting. Robert Louis Deere was ruled mentally incapable of participating in the case against him. 2017, apartment complex shooting, Douglas County, Colorado. 5 law enforcement officers shot. Wow. And 1 of them died after a barricade. Suspect opened fire at an apartment complex, Denver suburb. 2 civilians were also shot in the suspect. 2019, STEM School Highlands Ranch shooting in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Person killed, 8 others injured. A shooting at a charter school. The way CNN defines mass shooting incident which results in 4 or more casualties, wounded. Okay. The names, I just had that. We did it earlier in the stream. I don't think I have the names up anymore. If I find it, I'll read it off to you again one more time. I'll play a video in the meantime. Then I'll read off the names. I think it was on the heavy article. Okay, let's do this one. Meantime, while I pull that up.
Sarah Moonshadow, and Sarah is joining us now to walk us through what happened. Sarah, thank you for being with us. I know you were with your son, and we're very thankful that.
All right, let me read you off the names again one more time. And rest in peace and condolences to the family. I mean, to me, all that, I don't know. When I've lost family or friends in the past, the whole, condolences, rest in peace. I get it. That's like a thing people are supposed to say. But when I was going through that stuff, I just got tired of hearing. I didn't even want to hear that stuff. But these are the victims here. Let me get a bigger screen. So Denny Stong, 20 years old. Nevin Stan Isik, saying that right, 23. Ricky Olds, which I have an article we're gonna look at briefly, 25 years old. Shalona, can't say her last name properly, pronounce it, 49 years old. Suzanne Fountain, 59. Terry Leaker, 51. Officer Tally, 51. And they mentioned him having like 7 kids. That's crazy. Kevin Mahoney, 61. Lynn Murray, 62. And Jody Waters, 65. I don't know if I read all the names last time. Those are all the victims. Put this on, guys.
Both of you are physically okay this morning, but tell us how you're doing mentally and emotionally.
I think we're still kind of in shock that it even happened. There really wasn't any sort of indication, that whenever we had come in that there was any kind of problem, and we were supposed to be in and out, and we just we were stalling a little bit.
Oh, is Denny your brother's friend?
Around, and at first I was kind of kicking myself, feeling like if we had left a little bit sooner, maybe we could have avoided things. But then I realized that we probably could have been in a lot bigger trouble had we left any time sooner, because when we had gotten out of the store, there were people laying in the street. I tried to run for him, and my son pulled me back and said that we had to get away, and so I just tried to focus on my son. I was mostly focused on just making sure that he stayed as close to me as possible, and that he didn't stand up too far, because I just didn't want him to be too tall and become like a moving target, because we couldn't tell exactly where the shooter was. We knew that he was getting closer to us. We were pretty aware, straight immediately, that it was a large firearm that he was using. And I just started focusing as much as I could on the sound and the direction that he was moving, and how many seconds in between firing, and then if I could hear him racking his firearm in between shots, so that I could try to gauge what kind of platform he was using, so I knew that what we were dealing with. But there was just too much noise, and so I just looked at my son and I told him in between shots, by the 4th shot, I started counting, and I told him, we have 3 seconds, stay low and don't look and just move fast. And he almost hesitated, and I just told him, we don't have another option, where we don't have any other chance to get out of here. So he got to his hands and feet and stayed low and just kind of ran he just kind of that ran and crawled on his hands and feet so that he wouldn't be seen. And I briefly glanced to my right to make sure that we had a clearing, and I don't know exactly who I could see, because it was just so fast. I just stayed focused on my son and on trying to get away.
Yes, Sarah, your survival instincts, your mom instincts kicked in. At one point, you say the shooter actually fired shots at you when you were running out. At what point did you realize that you and your son were safe?
I think at the point whenever I saw, I'm pretty sure it was Officer Tally that was coming down the street.
No problem. Thank you, Cheesecake, for dropping by, and everybody that stopped by. That I have to go, but thank you for reading the names again. The story is so weird to me. I've been in this area millions of times. I hope you're all safe and friends are safe. Appreciate that.
And I tried to jump out from where we were crouching down behind a stone, and I tried to flag him down, and my son was really scared. He said, "No, please don't go." And so I backed up to stay with him, and that was when he pulled up to the person that was laying in the road, and then we started hearing more firing. It sounded like somebody was outside of the store. I wasn't quite sure. It just seemed like the gunshots were getting louder. So we just started running further back. We went to the side of the building a few feet away, and then at some point another officer came running. I'm not sure from where exactly, but she came running in our direction telling us to move. And so I'm pretty familiar with the neighborhood. And so I started showing my son where to go, because it kind of starts turning into a little bit of a maze in the center of this particular neighborhood. And so we kind of wound through a few buildings and stuff. And then there were some people that told us to come sit on their porch. And I think at that point, reality was just really starting to kick in, and I just really started freaking out. And
It's an unimaginable thing to have to live through and to try and process. But Sarah, we are so happy and thankful that you are okay. Please give your best to your son as well, and really appreciate you walking us through what happened. We wish the best for you in your recovery, because you will have to recover from something that traumatic. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, hey there.
Happy ass ending to the outro clip they have. It's crazy, man. I mean, anything can happen anywhere, man, at any moment. I mean, shit is just crazy. You know, you go to the store, you go drive, you cut off somebody by accident, you make an innocent mistake, somebody's pulling out their gun to kill you. People are freaking nuts, man. I don't know what is going on, and like I was talking about before, I really don't know if it's an increase or we're just noticing more. Almost feels like an increase. Katrina, thank you for the super chat. She said thank you for the awesome content. Make sure you hit the like for Mel. Thank you, Katrina. Yesterday too, it's nothing comparable to any of this, nothing like that. I'm just saying how people are just like, seems like people are not really, I'm not sure what's going on. People are just out there. And I was just driving in a parking lot, and as I was leaving, this other woman comes speeding from the pharmacy side, and she has a stop sign. She didn't even stop. She literally almost hit me, man. And I was like, oh my God. And then I look, and she has kids in the car. And I'm kind of looking at her like, you know, like, hey, like, you know, what's wrong with you? And she kind of looked at me kind of crazy. I'm like, yo, people are just nuts. People are just, I don't know what's going on. People on edge. Maybe the lockdown thing, COVID thing is making people worse. People taking more prescriptions, medications. Yo, everybody, that's right. Miranda said, arm yourself. Don't be a victim to ignorance and violence. Yeah, it's like you don't have a choice these days. You have to. Ricky Olds was one of the people that were shot and killed, age 25. On March 22nd, the aunt identified her and called her a beautiful young angel. Let me get a bigger screen for you guys. Okay, so Old's aunt expressed great anger at the loss of life. Lori Old said she is Ricky Old's aunt, who wrote an angry message on Facebook about the senseless loss of life. She says here, thank you everyone for all your prayers, but the Lord got a beautiful young angel yesterday at the hands of a deranged monster. We lost our beloved Ricky Olds, she wrote. To the monster who shot up the King Soopers in Boulder, Colorado yesterday, may his rotten ass fry and burn in hell. I If I don't kill him first, we'll be posting details about her arrangements in the upcoming days. 15 hours before, Olds wrote, please, please, please pray for my niece Ricky. Is in that King Soopers right now. Lord, let her get out safely. Somebody else responded. Another woman responded, we're very sorry. She was really special and our hearts are broken too. We truly enjoyed getting to know Ricky while she and my son have been dating. I just don't understand why. Why would anyone do this? Please let us know if there's anything we can do for your family. Sending love. Olds, who was from Lafayette, Colorado, studied at a community college. I wish I could adjust the screen a little bit. I feel like it's, I don't know. Maybe I'll just move myself. Lord. You know what? Let me not do that. Let me just leave the thing alone. My bad. Okay. There we go. Something like that. Okay. Sorry about that. So this is a picture Ricky Olds in a Facebook photo posted September 2020. On Facebook, Olds said she went to Centaurus High School in the Front Range Community College and lived in and was from Lafayette, Colorado. Her most recent post showed a waterfall at Boulder Falls. Other posts showed Colorado outdoors. Her uncle Bob Olds expressed frustration with the notification system, writing on Twitter, thank you for liking the stream. Totally understand that a police officer was killed in the line of duty. RIP Officer Tally, and thank you so much for running towards the danger and saving lives. But what about the rest of us sitting by the phone waiting for our notification? He added, I was told by the coroner's office that Officer Tally was identified because he had a name tag. So did my niece. Then I was told that people exchange IDs. So did my niece. Then I was told that people exchange IDs. Get out of here. Boulder County Coroner's Office, BS. Let my family know. It's 2 a.m. and nothing. Also, they were waiting to find out whether actually they're like deceased or not, if that was her. And after the post, he wrote, well, I'm saddened to report that we finally got the news that my niece left this world to join her papa in heaven. Fly free and rest easy, my loving niece, Ricky Olds. 7/28/95 to 3/22/21. Oh. That was it. Just a little article, but that's just one of the people passed away. And I think that's it. We'll call it for now. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. I really appreciate it. I gotta work out these weird kinks with the stream, but yeah, thank you guys for joining. Just I don't even know what to say. You know, just appreciate your family. I mean, you never know. I mean, I know so many people, especially 2020 and even this year, family members, people that are going through things, deal with COVID. They didn't expect them to get COVID. People that have family members in the hospital, people that have lost their parents. I mean, now you can't even go to the movie. You can't go to the store. I mean, it's just crazy. You don't know, you know, what's going on with some of these people. And apparently it's a lot of people. Let me play this real quick. Let's see. Boulder mass shooting suspect. Did this say anything about this guy?
Friends.
Oh, it's a robot talking. Oh no, never mind. Can't stand people do this.
Approximately 2:40 p.m. on Monday, March 22nd, officers were dispatched to King Soopers on Table Mesa Drive. Officers arrived on the scene within minutes and immediately entered the store and engaged the suspect.
There was exchange of gunfire, which the suspect was shot. No other officers were injured. The suspect was taken into custody at 3:28 p.m. He was transported to the hospital for treatment, now in stable condition. This suspect has been identified as Ahmad Alyssa.
Oh, I lost my chat again.
21 of
Yeah, I gotta
Arvada.
figure this out after.
He has been charged with 10 counts of murder in the first degree and will be shortly transported to the Boulder County Jail. Press release with his identifying information, the victim's information, will be forthcoming. I appreciate you being here.
So there was somebody
Say to the community,
that posted.
I am so sorry this incident happened, and we are going to do everything in our power to make sure this suspect has a thorough trial, and we do a thorough investigation.
So there's somebody that actually has his
The biggest
Facebook. Misty Hoiser. I'll play some of it. I'll put the link chat if you guys want to go see it after. I'll play some of it, but we're about to call it. Play a little bit. Oh, it's kind of hard to see, huh? At full screen. Oh, she's going through it really fast, so it's kind of... I'd have to pause it. I'm gonna skip through it. Yeah. I guess she got his page before they took it down. Quickly browse. That's the hijab post. So Mary wears a hijab and Jesus doesn't eat pork and prays on his knees and hands. They're both Muslims. I wonder if we just had like an overall breaking point. I mean, like, was this just something over time that was building up, or did something happen that day or within the recent days that just made him snap? Let's see. Yeah, everything they talked about in that article is kind of. Oh yeah, here's the. Stay humble. The guy almost beat one of the greatest mixed martial artists of our time, GSP, and not long ago he got knocked out by some. Definitely didn't like gay people. So, Muslims love Jesus, peace be upon him, as one of the greatest messengers sent by the Creator to show people the way, the truth, light. Everything that causes you joy has a Lord, Allah, so be thankful for it and ask him to increase it. Everything that causes you anxiety has Allah, patient, and ask him to remove it. So no matter where you turn, you will find Allah. I think that's kind of it. There's a picture of him. Oh boy. Picture. Oh wow. Look like a pretty boy or something. Hey Pam, we're about to get out of here. I had some issues on Facebook earlier, so I gotta fix Facebook Streamlabs pictures on Facebook. Damn. Soldier girl said terrorism. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, Miss Italy said, and we had 3 mall shootings in the last 2 weeks. Damn. Jesus. Bully's family was claiming that he used to be outgoing, and then he started getting bullied in school, became antisocial, was into wrestling. I'm at Current City, Arvada. Well, yeah, we're gonna call it a stream then. Thank you again, guys, for joining. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe. I'll share one last time. You guys can go check out this person, Misty Hoyser. If you're interested in looking at the Facebook, we just skimmed through it. Posted it here. So we'll send it one more time and we'll call it. But yeah, you guys stay safe, man. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. Shit is crazy. You know, I mean, there's too many things going on in the world. You go out for something and you may never come back home, or your kid goes to school, or I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys. Take care.